a book called Knuffle Bunny 2, A Case of Mistaken Identity by Willems. One morning not so long ago, Trixie took a walk with her daddy. By now, Trixie really knew how to talk. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna show Amy, then I'll show Meg, and then I'll show Margaret, and then I'll show Jane, and then I'll show Leah, and then I'll show Rebecca, and then I'll show Noah, and then I'll show Roby, and then I'll show Toshi, and then I'll show Casey, and then I'll show Connie, and then I'll show Parker, and then I'll show Brian, and talk and talk. Trixie was excited because she was taking her one-of-a-kind Knuffle Bunny someplace very special. Come on! School! Trixie couldn't wait to show Knuffle Bunny to Mrs. Greengrove and all her friends in pre-K. But just as her daddy kissed her goodbye, Trixie saw Sonja. Suddenly, Trixie's one-of-a-kind Knuffle Bunny wasn't so one-of-a-kind anymore. The morning did not go well. Knuffle, 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 Knuffle. The afternoon was worse. But when the school bell rang, Miss Greengrove returned the Knuffle Bunnies, and the day got better. Then, before she knew it, it was time to go home. Trixie ate her dinner. She devoured her dessert, brushed her teeth, and tried to escape the mommy and daddy robots from Planet Snarp. At 1:30 bedtime, Trixie was tucked in, ready for sleep. But a few hours later, Trixie realized something. Trixie marched into her mommy and daddy's room and said, "That is not my bunny." Trixie's daddy tried to explain what 2:30 a.m. means. He asked, "Can we deal with this in the morning?" Trixie's daddy went to the phone. Before he even made it downstairs, bring! The phone rang. "We have your bunny," said the man's voice on the other end. "We have yours," replied Trixie's daddy. Agreements were made. Trixie and her daddy rushed across the neighborhood. Trixie did not want to be late, so neither did Sonja. There was an exchange. The Knuffle Bunnies were back where they belonged. "I was so worried about my bunny," said Sonja. "So was I," Trixie replied. Then they both said, "I'm glad you got your bunny back," at the exact same time. And that is how Trixie found her first best friend. The end. What was your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is where the Knuffle Bunnies were back where they belonged. And this is my Knuffle Bunny. I love her so much. This book is Clark the Shark, Too Many Treats. "I can't wait for tomorrow," said Clark the Shark. "What's tomorrow?" asked Betty Blowfish. "It's Treats Tuesday," said Clark, "and my mom's baking brownies." "My mom's brownies are so yummy. They're a thrill to my tummy," Clark told Amanda Eelwiggle. "Sounds great," said Amanda. Mom's brownies are so sweet, they can't beat, Clark told Joey Mackerel. Have I said how much I love them? Oh, once or twice, said Joey. Clark told everyone in class about his mom's brownies. Soon all Clark's friends were hungry for them. Even Clark's teacher, Mrs. Inky Dink, couldn't wait. After school, Clark hurried home. And what did he see on the counter? Fresh baked brownies. Yum, yum, yum. Mom, can I try one? He called. But Clark's mom had gone shopping. He stared at the brownies. Someone should test them, he said, to make sure they're okay. Clark ate one brownie. Wow, said Clark. That's tasty. He eyed on the dish. Sure, one brownie was good, but how could he know if the others were good too? Maybe just one more, said Clark. So Clark ate another brownie. That's yummy too, he said. He eyed the dish again. Sure, those two brownies were good, but what about the rest? I can't let my classmates down. So Clark ate another brownie, and another, and another. Pretty soon they were all gone. Clark's mother came home. You're in trouble now, said Clark's brother Mark. Clark's mom was upset. How could you, she asked, after all of my hard work? I'm so sorry, said Clark. I couldn't stop eating. One brownie's fine, she said, but when you've had your snack, just hold back. I'll remember that, said Clark. Clark baked a new batch of brownies with a little help from Mom, and when they cooled off, he added some fancy decorations. At school the next day, everyone loved the brownies. Yum, 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 said Billy Ray. I could eat them all up. I tried that, said Clark, and I learned something. What's that? Asked Billy Ray. When you've had your snack, just hold back, said Clark. That way everyone gets some. Mrs. Inky Dink smiled. Words to live by, she said, if I do say so myself. The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is where Clark had so many brownies that they're all gone. Goldilocks and the Three Dinosaurs, as retold by Mo Willems. Once upon a time, there were three dinosaurs. Papa Dinosaur, Mama Dinosaur, and some other dinosaur who happened to be visiting from Norway. For no particular reason, the three dinosaurs made up their beds, polished their chairs just so, and cooked their 3 bowls of delicious chocolate pudding at varying temperatures. Oh boy, said Papa Dinosaur in his loud booming voice. It's finally time to leave and go to the, someplace else. Yes, continued Mama Dinosaur. I sure hope no innocent little succulent child happens by our unlocked home while we are, someplace else. Then the other dinosaur made a loud noise that sounded like a big evil laugh. But was probably just a polite Norwegian expression. Hey, hey, hug you first. Hug your eggs first. The three dinosaurs went someplace else and were definitely not hiding in the woods, waiting for an unexpected child to come by. Sure enough, 5 minutes later, a poorly supervised little girl named Goldilocks came traipsing along. Just then, the forest boomed with what could have been a dinosaur yelling, "Gotcha!" But I'm pretty sure it was just the wind. The loud noise was immediately followed by another loud noise that sounded kind of like, "Be patient, Papa Dinosaur. Trap is not yet sprung." But it could have been a rock falling or a squirrel. Getting closer. Either way, Goldilocks is not the type of little girl who listens to anyone or anything. For example, Goldilocks never listened to warnings about the dangers of barging into strange, enormous houses. Welcome! Tee-hee! So as soon as Goldilocks came across a strange, enormous house, she barged right in. Inside, Goldilocks immediately smelled the 3 bowls of delicious chocolate pudding. Said Goldilocks. "That chocolate pudding smells delicious. If only I could get all the way up to the top of that counter." Then Goldilocks noticed a very tall ladder that just happened to be there and certainly wasn't left on purpose. Goldilocks climbed up the ladder and found herself face to face with 3 gigantic bowls of chocolate pudding. The first bowl of chocolate pudding was too hot, but Goldilocks ate it all anyway because, hey, it's chocolate pudding, right? The second bowl of chocolate pudding was too cold. But who cares about the temperature when you've got a big bowl of chocolate pudding? Not her. The third bowl of chocolate pudding was just right, but Goldilocks was such a roll by now, she hardly noticed. Soon Goldilocks was stuffed like one of those delicious chocolate-filled little girl bonbons, which, by the way, are totally not the favorite things in the world for hungry dinosaurs. Tired and groggy, Goldilocks noticed 3 chairs in the living room, so she climbed down the ladder and walked out of the kitchen. The first chair was too tall, the second chair was too tall, but the third chair was too tall. Goldilocks wasn't going to climb that high just to sit in some chair, so she hiked over to the bedroom. When she got there, Goldilocks noticed that the beds were also gigantically big. "What is going on around here?" groaned the exhausted girl. "The bears that live here must be nuts." Just then, the room filled with loud, booming noises that were either a passing truck or a dinosaur gloating. A few more minutes, then she'll be asleep. Delicious chocolate-filled little girl bonbons are yummier when they're rested. Even a little girl who never listens to anyone or anything had to hear that. Goldilocks took a minute to stop and think, which was longer than he was used to stopping and thinking. Hey, she told herself, this isn't some bear's house. This is some dinosaur's house. Say what you like about Goldilocks, but she was no fool. As quickly as she could, she ran to the back door and got out of there. Just then a loud plane flew by, which sounded pretty much like a trio of dinosaurs yelling, "Now!" or "Charge!" or the Norwegian expression for chewy bonbon time. Suddenly, and completely coincidentally, the three dinosaurs rushed through the front door. But they were too late. Goldilocks was gone, and all that was left in the house was three disappointed dinosaurs. The end. And the moral is, if you ever find yourself in the wrong story, leave. And the moral for the dinosaurs is, lock the back door. The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is where Goldilocks ate 3 gigantic bowls of chocolate pudding.